Welcome to the To Your Success podcast, hosted by Krista Johnson and Elin Solheim. Each bi-weekly episode takes a deep dive into how success and freedom is created and how you can start living the life you truly want now. Krista was top CEO of international companies for more than 20 years. He's done business in most parts of the world. Now he is an international success mentor, helping people and organizations to be successful. Elin and Krista are partners in life and business. They truly live what they teach every day. They sail their beautiful 43-footer around the world while helping clients all over the world. They are proof that you can get all the freedom you've ever wanted. They truly live what they teach every single day.
Hello everyone and warm welcome to the To Your Success podcast. I am mentor Krista Johnson and with me today is my wife and business partner.
Hello, I'm Elin Solheim. Happy to be here today too.
It's wonderful to be here today too. We are in Norway. If you see behind Elin, you will see that we have snow.
For those of you who are watching and not listening.
I'm not listening, that's true. So we have snow. We are in the middle of what we call the blue hour, where the sun sets and it's clear blue sky and
it's
and
magic.
we have beautiful snow outside. It's one of these great hours. Okay, so today we are going to talk about important things. As always, we think it's important. It's the most important thing we do. And that's related to our goal. Right. My goal is to help millions of people all over the world living their full life every day. Full life meaning the life you dream about. Today we're going to talk about standard and philosophy. Those are interesting. So do you have a standard, Elin?
Yes, I have a standard. I have a standard for many things. For most things in my life, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of follow your standard around a little bit, but I have a standard. Standard for traveling, standard for our marriage, standard for my relationship with my children, standard for friends, so standard for work. So, of course, it's necessary. I need the standard to know, to be the one I want to be.
Yeah. Do you have a deliberate standard? Have you written it down?
Deliberate standard?
Yeah, meaning that you have written it down.
Yes, I have written down my standard, yes.
You have written down your standard. Well, that's good. Because what most people have, everyone has a standard, but not so many actually have a deliberate standard. That they have written down, this is my standard for my life. And that's interesting. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. But before we talk about standard and philosophy, we have to talk about goals. Because it's a certain hierarchy there. And let's start on top of that hierarchy with our goals. Without goals, and this is back to in absence of clearly defined goals, people become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until they become enslaved by it. Daily trivia until they become enslaved by it. Following social media, what happens in the news, everything that happens around us, right?
Chaos with the children in the morning.
Robert Heinlein said that. In absence, not about the children, but in absence of clearly defined goals, people become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until we become enslaved by it. How come that we are so enslaved by daily trivia? We program ourselves through repetition. We program ourselves. We repeat. And a lot. We live the life how we think others want us to live life. We don't live life on our premises. We live it on others' premises, or how they think, how we think they want us to live, and that's the biggest mistake. And that is where a lot of stress comes from, right?
You kind of always worry about how other people think about us.
Yeah.
So,
and I can say the same thing as Bob Proctor said. If you wonder about what people think about you, well, they don't. Just like you. They mostly think about themselves.
It's true.
Yeah, but that's about. In the last episode, we talked about doubt, and then to have self-confidence, it's really important to have self-confidence. And goals and standard and life philosophy is an important part of building that, right? And same with auto-suggestion, where we repeat our goals and repeat who we really want to be. That is a way of building up our self-confidence. And I can be personal on this. It took me 51 years to look myself in the eyes, in the mirror, and say, I love you. I don't say I'm perfect. Absolutely not. But I mean, let's say that I think I'm 90% good. The remaining 10% I can live with. like in a marriage or a partnership. But it's the same thing. How is your relationship with you? If you want to have a successful life, you have to start loving yourself. You have to start liking and loving yourself. Come back to Abraham Hicks. I am so selfish because I love you so much. When I am the best version of me, I have so much love to give.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good
and you are
version
more
of me.
to love.
Yeah. When I'm not a good version of myself, I don't have very much to give. You know that. None of us have. But go back to goals. I will bring you back to Andrew Carnegie, one of my favorite quotes. Any idea? And I write about that several times in my book. I write it, quote from Andrew Carnegie, and I said, read this again. So listen carefully. I will say this only once.
Okay. That's also a quote.
That's also a quote. Any idea that is held in the mind that is emphasized, either feared or awared, either you want it or not, will begin at once to clothe itself, that means to materialize itself, will immediately start to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. So when you think about everything you don't want, you get more of that. First time I heard that, I thought, oh, well, then I should rather start thinking about what I want. So going back to goals, we have like three types. I use three types of goals. It's like a goal, which is, the letter A. What you can reach. I want to go to the gym. I want to have a new car. And I often say, well, what kind of car do you want to have? And they say, well, I have this car. And what is new? Well, I want exactly the same car, maybe a different color. And this time I want the biggest stereo. It's like, wow. I don't say that, but I think that. It's like, oh, that's cool. But that it's still important for them. And it's really important for me too, that they have these goals, because goals are important. But it's not something that changes your life. You know how to reach it. Then we have B goals, what you think you can reach. It's like for us now, sailing around the world. Now that is actually a goal. But it used to be, I thought it was a C goal for me, but I realized it was a B goal, because I think I can do it. The C goals, the really big goals, that sometimes are scary to set, because when we write down a goal, we commit ourselves to do it. It's like the big C goals, no idea how to reach. We have some C goals. And sometimes they are frustrating to have, because we fall back into the mechanical wall and think, how can I reach that? Right? But then we have to flip and say, how is not the right question. If we had known how, we had already done it. And for you as a melancholic, it's not easy to let how go, right?
Never. But I'm getting better at it.
Better and better and better. Yeah, because the how will come to you. The how will come to you. Because the right questions, reaching a C goal, what can I do today? Who can I become? Who can I get help from? Those are the right questions. Because if you had known how, you had already done it. And that's very, very important. So that's goals, short-term goals. We have own episodes on goals as well, but I just wanted to repeat that. So why are goals important? It goes back to this philosophical question that I often ask. Where do ideas come from? Do you know, Elin? When this idea comes to you, it's like a package, right? It's like a Christmas gift or a birthday present. It's like, wow, you open it up and then say, wow, this was cool.
It's just, it just is.
Just is. It just comes to your mind, right? It's like this package, this gift that comes to your mind. Boom, it's there. I often think, my thinking, I often think, are all thoughts already thought about? And they are just floating around in the ether, and then as we develop our brains, they are just antennas, and then we connect to them.
I think we should make a movie about this.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I know that from radio technique, because I was in the radio on a military ship, so I studied radio technique. But then and an antenna can take any form. So you don't know, it doesn't have to be like a big pole. It can be a spiral as well. And you look at the brain, you just wonder. But that's another topic about the brain. It's a fun part of the body.
Mm.
But then go back to, where do ideas come from? Well, they come from your thinking, right? That is why Andrew Carnegie can say any idea that is held in the mind. Because when you focus, when you are really good, and unfortunately a lot of people are so good at thinking about what they don't want, and then they get more of that because they get new ideas. Philosophically, it's law of attraction. Your thinking is your vibration, and then you attract that. But then, so the ideas actually come from your goal. I think that is how Bob Proctor could say that the goal comes to you. It's not only you going to the goal, but when you get on the frequency, get on the thinking, it comes to you because your ideas come to you from your goal.
It's like when you get on the right frequency, you meet your goal on the way.
Yes, you do. Because you get the ideas, and that is when you let how go, and you think, what can I do? What the first thing you can do, the first most important thing you can do, is only to think about your goal, only to focus on your goal, right? Only to focus on that. I mean, not 100% of the time, but let it be the dominating thought during the day. You repeat it. Okay. And it's so important because the ideas come to you. When you stop thinking about all the things you don't like and you start thinking about the things you like, things will come to you. New ideas will come to you on how you can reach your goal. Hi, this is Christer. Thank you for watching and listening to our podcast. We really appreciate that. As you see, we love sharing how you can live the life you truly want, and we also love sharing how we live this every day. You know what changed my life is that I did one thing. I signed up for a strategy call with my first mentor. That was the one thing that changed my life. And that is why we offer you to do exactly the same thing with me and my team as well, because we know that that call, those 30 minutes can be the thing that changes your life. So if you go to our website, christerjohnson.com, up in the right corner, you will find a button to click on. Click on that button and book a strategy call with us. It might be the best thing you ever done to change your life. Have a wonderful day. And now back to the podcast. Let's talk about standard then. And we started this episode with standard. And everyone has a standard, but only a few have a deliberate standard. Deliberate standard meaning that you have written it down. It's like this is our standard.
It's like making a contract with yourself.
Oh, that's true. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, it's a written contract with you. This is how it is. And the fun thing with the standard, you live it in good times and bad times. So it's actually more like a marriage. But it's important if you have a standard for income, a standard for living, like we have a standard for travel. It's like we live that every time, because it feels good. It makes us feel good. So, but I think the most important thing is actually having a standard for your thinking. And that is directly related on opening up my standard now, because I've written it down in a document. So I can share that, some of that with you, and how I work on standard. I mean, my standard on thinking is I'm calm and relaxed, because that is a state of mind I like. I am at peace of mind. I master my thoughts and my mind. I master my thoughts and my mind. I am grateful. See how important that is? We talked about many times. I focus only on my mind. I focus only on my thinking. I always think from my goal. I think from my goal. I always think big ideas. I like that. I don't like small ideas. I like the big ones. And I want to have more big ideas, so that's why I have big goals. I think what and who, not how. I always pivot forward. I'm never into history. I think history is interesting to study, but I don't live in the past. I live in the future. I'm loose, free, and happy. I'm intentional in all I do. And I am in this moment, meaning that physically I am in this moment because life is lived in this moment. That is my standard for thinking. And it's important to have a standard for thinking, because as you think, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is, James Allen.
How often do you repeat these standards? How often?
Every morning.
Every morning.
I read through it every morning, a part of my morning routine. I have a standard for where we live. always at great places we like. Standard for travel, standard for money. And that's important. You know, we talked about financial freedom. It's more than 10,000 people that have seen or listened to that episode now, financial freedom. Financial freedom starts with your attitude. It doesn't start with your bank account. You know, I have clients with a lot of money and they are not happy. They don't feel financially free. I said no, because even though they have enough money, then they are afraid of losing it. They're afraid of not having enough. I said it's a state of mind. Standard for work, standard for life. My standard for life. Effortless freedom is my main standard for life. Perfect balance in life. And my life is filled with love, happiness, and joy. That's a good one.
I love your standards. I think I should rewrite mine because yours are better.
I have a standard for friends. Right? Standard for family. It's important. Right? And standard for marriage. I can share that. Is that okay for you, Elin?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So
we share everything, so.
No, we don't. There are some parts we don't share.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
So my standard for marriage is we have a marriage that is filled with trust, love, happiness, laughter. It's playful, fun, understanding, freedom, and we explore new sides of life. I have a standard for clothing. There is a reason why I dress like this. It's because it's my standard, right? And clothing is fun. If you want to change your self-image, change the way you dress. It's really fun. Okay, so that is standard. I highly recommend that everyone writes down their standard. How do you want to live? The point with standard is that first you set the standard and then you raise your life up to that. Right? It's not the other way around. My life is here, so therefore that's my standard. No, a deliberate standard is how you want to live. How is my dream life? Right?
It's kind of see yourself in the goals and set the standard from that person you are in the goal.
Yes. That's true. And then, and I upgrade my standard. Several times a year I upgrade. When I feel I outlived the standard, then I upgrade. So it's really, really cool. It is, the opposite of standard is excuse.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's a tough one. But it's true. I mean, Bob said that the worst thing that can happen to a person with a goal is to get an excuse. Even worse, to get a good excuse.
Yeah.
Either we find a way or we find an excuse to do what we want. Okay. So that's standard. So we have goals, we have standard, and then we have life philosophy. And we're going to talk about that. So philosophy is like a group of core ideas that govern everything a person thinks, feels, and acts. Right? It's like the foundation. I call it the foundation. It's like when you build something, first you have the foundation, and then you have like, so it's like the really, I don't know a better word than foundation. The core, maybe we just drill down to the core of life. What is your philosophy? Life is good or life is bad. I am healthy or I am sick. That's a philosophy.
I am grateful.
That's a good one. We have to thank Mikey again for sharing that. So good friend of ours, and we meet her in a few days. She recorded on YouTube, I think it was, about gratitude. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Okay, so I will share some of my life philosophies, because it's such a foundation. It's like the foundation of who am I, what am I, where did I come from, and where am I going? How should I live? What is the point of life? So my life philosophy, number one, I bet on myself every day. The alternative of not betting on myself is that I don't believe in myself.
So then you give up. We never give up.
That's not an option.
No,
it's the only way to fail is to give up, right? So we never give up. We just try. So I bet on myself. I'm always all in all I do. Elin, you know that pretty well.
I know that quite well, yes. I was going to say that before you said it. So, yes.
There is no trying. It's only doing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I leverage myself every day. Leverage meaning that things I don't want to do, I buy the services or I have people helping me. I stretch every day. And I don't stretch only me. It's not physical. It's like mental stretching. I think I stretch my environment too.
Yes,
I think I can be demanding on my environment sometimes.
Yeah. But it's fun. So
yeah, most of it is. I always act fast. It's important to make fast decisions. I'm always positive, right? I don't say no. I try not. Well, I say no if there are things I don't want to do. Do you want to do that? No. And that's important. That's the philosophy we have, Elin.
Yes.
If I want to do something and ask you, do you want me to join? And you say no, that's okay for me.
Yes.
Don't do it because it will make me happy. It will make me sad knowing that you only do it for me.
Yeah. That's even worse.
No, that's even worse.
Yeah. So, but it's a good way of living together, that you always give the other person the chance to do what you want to do.
Yeah. So maybe a life philosophy. I haven't thought about that, but a life philosophy for us is to use Jim Rohn's quote: "I take care of me for you, and you take care of you for me."
Yes.
Then we have a wonderful relationship. I think that's a good one. So that's a good philosophy. Okay, so I have two more. That I have several, but I trust myself. That's a life philosophy. And another life philosophy is that I love helping. It's a part of me. So that, then you have like the philosophy as a foundation. You have the standard, how you want to live, and then you have your goals.
I would actually like to say thank you for sharing this, because I haven't read this. You showed me some of this for a long time ago. Yeah. I haven't seen this in a while, and you have changed it a lot, and I love it.
Yeah.
Because you actually live this. I know that. But I know that you follow, you do your best in trying to do this every day. So that's, so thank you for sharing.
Yeah, sure. You're most welcome. I mean, I help people all over the world. I always have a mentor. It's the most important thing I do. And you know that, Elin, that sometimes I prioritize my mentoring over us.
Yes.
Because it is the way. I mean, that's the way it is. Even I, as a mentor, has a mentor, and my mentor as a mentor. It's like one of the most important things we do. I'm always in an elite environment, meaning that I like to have people that are better than me around me. We live the life we really love. If there is one thing we should do and we don't like it, we don't do it. And that's a life philosophy. And people can say, oh, that's selfish, or I don't like that, but that's okay. It's my life, it's your life. We live the life, and I highly recommend everyone else to start living the life you truly want. Be honest with yourself. Follow your feelings. If it feels good, do more of it. If it doesn't feel good, stop doing it.
Perfect.
Except when you're afraid of something. Then you should do it.
Yeah.
Then you should do it. So shall we talk about to end up with a story about when we tested our discipline this winter, when one of our neighbors, we have a wonderful neighborhood here. There are a few houses, and it's really great people living around us. We enjoy a lot where we live, and we're truly grateful for our neighbors. And one of our neighbors said that, "Do you want to go swimming tomorrow?" And I didn't think about it. I said, "Sure, why not?" And it's shitty cold, right? And the day we woke up, the morning after, it was raining, it was cold, it was windy, and everyone thought that, well, now maybe we can procrastinate on this, and that was not the question. We just did it, right?
It was 4 degrees.
4 degrees in the water, centigrade, right? That's like, I think it's like 15, 20-ish. No, 19, I don't. It's just above freezing point. But we did it. And that's an important life philosophy, or a standard. Let's say a standard for thinking is a discipline. Give yourself a command and do it. And actually, I was out 2 times, and we did it several days after that too. Because it's something about discipline, and discipline your thinking, and then feeling that you control your life. That was a great experience.
It was.
It was not as bad as we thought, right?
No, that's the fun part. It was actually quite nice. And it gave us energy.
Gave us energy, and we had some wonderful experiences together with some of our neighbors, which is good too. Okay, well, so that's it for about goals, about standard, and about life philosophy. It's important building blocks in creating the life you truly want.
It is.
Yeah. Say again?
And this is?
To your success, right? All we do is to help you to live the life you truly want. So have a wonderful day, everyone. And by the way, Remember to subscribe to this podcast. Share it. Feel free to share. If you think this is valuable for others, please share.
We love to be shared.
We love to be shared. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of To Your Success podcast. Please leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. For more information on how Krista's mentoring programs can help you in your own life, visit kristajohnson.com.